my beloved child. I speak to you now with a heart overflowing in grace, with compassion that moves the deepest currents of the universe, and with love that knows no end. I desire that you open the fullness of your being to me, letting every secret corner of your heart be gently illuminated by my everlasting light. As you receive these words, do not fear their length, for I am eager to pour out an unending stream of encouragement, truth, and consolation upon you. Let your spirit drink in the abundance of my promises, and know that you have not stumbled upon these words by mere chance. You are here reading these lines because I have led you to this divine appointment with me. Indeed, I wish to converse with you intimately, to bring forth the treasure of my heart into your soul. I have seen your days and your nights, your joys and your sorrows, your triumphs and your failures. I have witnessed when tears stained your pillow, and when you felt no one heard the silent cry in your chest. I heard you even then. I have walked alongside you in quiet moments when you looked at the sky, wondering if there was something more, something deeper, something truly everlasting. And child, I tell you, I am that more. I am the one who transcends every limit you have known, the one who stands outside of time yet chooses to dwell intimately with you. I reach across the vastness of eternity to let you feel my heartbeat, to assure you that you are never alone. Take a moment to breathe in my peace. Imagine my arms of love wrapping around you, steadying you, and reminding you that you belong to me. Yes, you are mine. My creation, my precious workmanship, formed uniquely and wonderfully. Even before you realized your own worth, I saw it in you, like a precious gem hidden within the earth. I have always known the splendor of your spirit, long before you ever caught a glimpse of it yourself. Let this awareness sink into your heart. You matter to me, so profoundly that I would move heaven and earth to show you my favor. I invite you now to rest in my presence. There is no more need to strain or strive, no need to frantically grasp for significance. You have significance already, simply because I made you and breathed my life into you. In a world that hustles and clamors for position, success, or recognition, you can be still and know that you are enough. Enough because I lovingly shaped your identity. I wove into your being the capacity to shine my light, to reflect my compassion, to carry my hope. If the chaos of life has caused you to doubt your importance, let these words anchor you in the certainty that my love for you is constant, unwavering, and unshakable. Perhaps you fear that you have wandered too far from me, that your mistakes have built an insurmountable wall. But my arms are always open, waiting to embrace you with a grace that defies human comprehension. Your sins, your stumbles, your regrets, they do not push me away. They stir my heart of mercy. I came not to condemn you, but to offer you a way home, a path of redemption that leads to peace and restoration. Do you not see that my compassion is always greater than your failings? Do you not perceive that I long to blot out every stain, to heal every wound, to mend every fracture in your heart? Some might tell you that you must perform grand feats or be perfect to secure my approval. That is not the truth. While good works flow from a heart transformed by my love, they are never the currency by which you earn my favor. My favor is a gift, a measureless outpouring of grace that I choose to lavish upon my children simply because I take delight in them. I do not demand that you carry the weight of atonement on your shoulders. I have already borne it. I do not require that you punish yourself for your errors. I have already taken your place. You need only repent, turning your heart toward me with sincerity, and receive the forgiveness I so freely give. You are forgiven. You are cleansed. You are precious in my sight. Do you find this truth overwhelming? Let it wash over you like a gentle rain after a long drought. Let it soften any hardened places in your soul, any cynicism or disbelief that has settled in. This divine exchange, your surrender for my renewal, is the heartbeat of a life transformed. Trust that my words are not empty promises. They are the living expression of my nature. From generation to generation, my word stands firm. When I say you are forgiven, it is not a tentative hope, but an absolute certainty. Yes, the world around you can be a swirl of confusion and turmoil. Wars rage, natural disasters strike, people hurt and betray one another. At times, it appears that darkness triumphs. Yet, in the midst of it all, I remain the steady beacon of light, guiding those who choose to look my way. I am not absent or unaware. I am patiently working out my plan, weaving beauty out of chaos, stirring hearts to seek me amid the frenzy. If you watch closely, you will see rays of my glory illuminating even the darkest corners. If you open your heart, you will hear my invitation to come, to lay your burdens down, to discover that I am always for you, never against you. Let me address your worries and fears. You may be anxious about your health, your finances, your relationships, or the future. Beloved one, do you not know that I hold the entire universe in my hands? Planets spin and stars blaze under my watchful care. Not even a sparrow falls without my notice. How much more do I notice your cries, your pleas, your every breath? Do not be afraid. I will guide you step by step. As you cast your cares on me, you will find an inner peace that transcends human understanding. You may not have the power to solve every problem by your own wisdom, but I do. And when you align your life with my will, solutions arise in ways you never foresaw. I can open doors you never even knew existed, and close doors that would lead you astray. If you struggle to believe this, I encourage you to reflect on your past. Recall moments when circumstances seemed impossible, yet an unexpected breakthrough occurred. Think of times when you felt utterly abandoned or lost, yet someone or something brought you comfort and direction. In every kindness shown to you, in every instance of grace that saved you from disaster, I was there, orchestrating or encouraging those outcomes. Sometimes you recognized my hand at work. Other times, you might have assumed it was simply coincidence or luck. But no detail is hidden from my eyes. No event escapes my involvement. I am the orchestrator of every good and perfect gift, and I take great joy in blessing my children. What is your heart's deepest longing right now? Is it for companionship, for healing, for purpose, for rest from a wearying battle? Bring it to me. Surrender it. Speak it with simplicity. You do not need eloquent words or elaborate rituals to capture my attention. A single whisper of, "Father, help me," uttered with a sincere heart, echoes powerfully in my throne room. I am not impressed by showy demonstrations of religiosity. I am impressed by a sincere heart, bowed in trust. Remember that I can meet you exactly where you are. If you are in a place of despair, I am the glimmer of hope shining through. If you are celebrating abundance, I am the joyous presence celebrating with you. If you are uncertain, I am the compass that quietly points you in the right direction. I want to address the restlessness you sometimes feel. In your quieter moments, you sense a yearning for something more, something beyond your current understanding. That yearning is the call of eternity upon your heart. I have placed within you a spark that knows there is a grander story, a larger canvas, a deeper reality. Your spirit recognizes that it comes from me and will return to me. This world, for all its beauty and wonder, cannot fully satisfy the yearnings of your soul. Why? Because you were created for fellowship with me, for communion that transcends human logic. Yes, relationships, work, and achievements are all significant, but ultimately, they point to the deeper hunger to be filled by my presence. And in my presence, you find completeness. Do not be afraid of the silence. Some flee from quietness, fearing what they might discover in solitude. But in the stillness, you will hear my voice most clearly. In that space, you will also encounter the unspoken corners of your heart. Let me gently reveal what lies there, the hurts, the dreams, the doubts, and bring them into my healing light. You need not fear examination by my Spirit. I do not come to judge you harshly, but to refine you, as gold is refined by fire, so that everything that pollutes your peace is removed, and you stand radiant in wholeness. Now, my child, let us speak of faith. Faith is not a mere intellectual exercise, nor a distant theological concept. Faith is the living bond between you and me. When you have faith, you accept that I am who I say I am, that I am able to do what I have promised, and that my plans for you are always laced with goodness. A small mustard seed of faith can move mountains because it is not the size of your faith that matters, but the power of the one in whom you believe. Trusting me wholeheartedly opens channels through which I can pour out blessings you have yet to imagine. Faith is active, living, and it draws you out of complacency into a vibrant relationship with me. I know that sometimes your faith flickers like a candle in the wind. Doubts whisper, but what if it isn't true? What if you are just fooling yourself? Those doubts are normal, especially in a world that glorifies the visible and mocks the unseen. But do not let them snuff out your flame. Feed your faith with my promises. Recall the testimonies of countless others throughout history who put their trust in me and found me utterly reliable. Turn to my words, which breathe life. Read them, reflect on them, and let them fill your heart with renewed confidence. Cling to the testimonies of your own life, the prayers answered, the sense of my presence in your darkest nights, the small but undeniable miracles you have witnessed. These are stones of remembrance, placed to remind you that I am real and that I care. Yes, this is a long message, but you have asked for depth, and I am giving you an ocean of love. Consider the length and expression of my willingness to dwell with you intimately, addressing every corner of your existence. Let these words seep into you, not as a burden, but as nourishment. So often you settle for snippets of encouragement, short bursts of truth. But I long to saturate you with hope and vision. There is no rush. Take your time, read and reread, pause to reflect, to let my Spirit apply each phrase to the tapestry of your life. Sometimes, you cling to your wounds as though they define you. You wear them like a garment, reluctant to remove them because you fear who you would be without that pain. But I want to give you a new robe, one woven with healing, with the vibrant colors of redemption. I am not asking you to dismiss the reality of your hurt, but to see that I have provided a remedy. When you wrap yourself in my love, you exchange despair for hope, anger for forgiveness, regret for new beginnings. Each day, as you place your trust in me, the old layers of hurt peel away, replaced by a fresh garment that proclaims, I am beloved, I am made new, I walk in victory. You are a child of the King, and as such you inherit a spiritual authority that is rooted in love and humility. You do not need to cower before the enemy who whispers accusations or tries to steal your joy. Stand firm in who I have declared you to be. You can speak my word to situations that arise against you, to the spiritual forces of darkness that attempt to sow fear or chaos in your life. When you speak with the authority of faith, in line with my heart, mountains move. This authority is not for boasting or lording over others, but to bring about my kingdom's reality. Peace, justice, righteousness, and the triumph of sacrificial love. You have the right to walk in freedom, not bound by shame or shackled by the opinions of those who misunderstand you. In my kingdom, greatness is measured by serving, by stooping down to wash the feet of those in need, by loving the unlovely and forgiving the undeserving. This is the paradox of my realm. Humility leads to exaltation. Giving leads to receiving. Losing your life for my sake leads to discovering true life. Reflect on my own example when I walked among you. Did I not lay aside my heavenly splendor to dwell in the fragility of human flesh? Did I not show compassion to the broken, touch the leper, dine with the outcast, and forgive even those who crucified me. Follow that example of sacrificial love, for in it you will discover joy unspeakable and a closeness with my heart that transcends anything this world can offer. Now be still for a moment and consider, how can you reflect my love today? Is there someone who needs a kind word, a helping hand, or a listening ear? Is there someone who has wounded you, waiting for forgiveness that only you can grant? Sometimes, the greatest miracles unfold in those small acts of obedience. Do not underestimate the ripple effect of a single act of kindness performed in my name. You might think your contribution is minor, but I see how each sincere deed weaves into the grand tapestry of my redemptive plan. Your life is a thread in that tapestry, and without your thread, the masterpiece would not be complete. It could be that you fear losing yourself if you surrender fully to me. Let me assure you, the more you yield to my love, the more you discover who you truly are. You were designed in my image, and sin distorts that image. My Spirit works within you to restore it day by day, so that you more clearly reflect my heart. True surrender is not a loss, but a metamorphosis, a transformation from being confined by selfishness and fear into a vessel of noble purpose and expansive joy. Your uniqueness remains, but it is elevated, cleansed, and empowered by my hand. You might ask, how do I know my life has worth? I say to you, look at the cross. My willingness to give my life was the ultimate measure of your worth. If you ever doubt your value, let that cross stand as an eternal testimony of what I see when I look at you. Someone worth rescuing, someone worth dying for, someone I want to spend eternity with. This is not mere rhetoric. This is the central truth of my relationship with you. My love is the anchor that holds, the fortress that cannot be shaken, the wellspring that never runs dry. You are my beloved, and my eyes are fixed on you with a love that does not waver. Let us talk about hope. Hope is a powerful force that sprouts in the soil of my promises, unaffected by the storms of life. When your circumstances look bleak, hope whispers, "But my God is able." It is not naivety or denial of reality. It is the confident assurance that I have the final word. You may look around and see dryness, but hope envisions the coming of rain. You may feel trapped, but hope envisions an open door. You may see your weaknesses, but hope envisions my strength manifested in you. Nurture hope by immersing yourself in my truth, by testimonies of my faithfulness, and by the presence of my Spirit. I also want to address the longing in your heart for a deeper encounter with me. Perhaps you have tasted glimpses of my glory, moments of worship where you felt heaven kiss earth, moments of prayer where you sensed my presence so tangibly you could almost touch it. You yearn for more. Child, that longing is a blessed gift, and I want to fulfill it. But remember, a deeper encounter is not always found in emotional highs. It is found in consistent daily communion, in reading my word, in quiet prayer, in the practice of loving your neighbor, in the discipline of gratitude. As you weave these acts of devotion into your life, you create a sanctuary in your heart where my Spirit loves to dwell. The more space you give me, the more I will fill you until you overflow. I see how sometimes you measure yourself by others, comparing your path, your accomplishments, your perceived blessings. Comparison robs you of contentment and blinds you to my unique design for your life. No one else can walk the path I have mapped for you. No one else has your specific blend of gifts, personality, and life experiences. Cherish your journey with me. Let me lead you through valleys that produce perseverance and mountaintops that expand your vision. Each step is woven into a tapestry of eternal significance. Rejoice in the victories of others, and let them rejoice in yours. In my kingdom, there is no scarcity of blessing, I have enough for everyone. Let me address broken relationships in your life. Perhaps a friendship has soured, a family member is distant, or trust has been shattered. I am the mender of broken fences, the restorer of hearts. If you are harboring unforgiveness, it festers and poisons your spirit. Release it to me. Allow me to handle the justice. As you let go of resentment, you free yourself to live in the fullness of my peace. Forgiveness is not always easy, but it is the path of liberation. If reconciliation is possible, take steps to pursue it through humility, honest conversation, and prayer. If the other party is unwilling or the situation is dangerous, place them in my hands. Let me work where your efforts fail. Know that I can bring healing even when humans cannot. You may sometimes feel invisible in a crowded world, overshadowed by louder voices or overshadowed by those who seem more talented. I tell you, I see you. I see you in the quiet corners, in the faithful service behind the scenes. I see your prayers offered in secret, your consistent acts of love that gain no spotlight. Do not measure your impact by earthly accolades. My reward for you is sure, and it is eternal. Even a small cup of water given in my name holds eternal significance. Your labor is never in vain. Every seed of kindness sown will, in due time, bear fruit, whether you witness it now or in eternity. When you struggle with temptation, know that you are never alone. My Spirit is present, providing a way out. The enemy will try to convince you that you are too weak, that you have no choice but to yield to destructive habits or sinful inclinations. But you do have a choice. I have given you free will and the empowerment of my grace. Call upon my name in the hour of temptation, and I will strengthen you. The battle for your soul is real, yet you are equipped with armor. Truth, righteousness, peace, faith, salvation, my word, and persevering prayer. Wear this armor daily, and you will stand firm. Even if you stumble, I am here to lift you up, to cleanse you, and to set you back on the path of life. Some of you wrestle with chronic pain or illness. Others suffer from mental and emotional struggles, anxiety, depression, or traumatic memories. Let me assure you, I have not forgotten you. In your darkest hour, my heart aches with you. I am the great physician, and I can heal. Yet the mystery of suffering is profound. Sometimes I heal immediately, miraculously. Other times the healing is a journey involving medical care, supportive relationships, or a gradual process of restoration. And there are moments when complete physical healing waits for eternity, where no tear or sickness remains. But in every scenario, my grace is sufficient. I can pour strength into your weakness, peace into your turmoil, and hope into your despair. Trust me to weave purpose even into your pain. Let us speak of prayer. Prayer is a sacred dialogue between your heart and mine, a place of intimacy, honesty, and transformation. It is not meant to be a monologue of requests, but a conversation where you share your joys, your burdens, and then listen for my response. Yes, I still speak today. Perhaps not always in audible voices or dramatic signs, but in the stillness of your spirit, in the words of Scripture, in the wise counsel of a friend, or in the gentle convictions that tug at your conscience. Be patient and cultivate a heart that listens. You will be astonished at how I communicate when you genuinely seek to hear. I may not always give the answer you expect, but know that my ways are higher, my perspective broader. I see the tapestry of eternity while you see only a single thread. Are you worried that life is passing you by too quickly? That you will never accomplish your goals or fulfill the dreams you once cherished? Place your aspirations in my hands. Let me shape them, refine them, and breathe life into them at the right time. If a dream truly aligns with my will for you, no power in heaven or on earth can extinguish it. If it does not align, you can trust that I have a better path. a plan that will lead to greater fulfillment than you could imagine. Rest in me. Do your part faithfully, but do not be anxious about tomorrow. Each day has enough concerns of its own, and I will provide for you as you walk step by step with me. Let me stir your heart for compassion toward those who suffer. Look around you. Are there hungry mouths to feed, lonely souls needing a friend, homeless individuals longing for shelter, or children craving a sense of belonging? Your love in action can be a conduit of my grace. When you feed the hungry, clothe the naked, or visit the sick and imprisoned, you do these things unto me. The generosity you extend is a reflection of the generosity I have shown you. Be my hands and feet in a world that needs a tangible expression of divine love. Remember, each person you help is someone dear to me, someone I formed and dreamed of before the foundations of the earth. In your pursuit of holiness, do not forget that holiness and love are inseparable. Holiness is not about rigid rules or cold legalism. It is about being set apart in love, reflecting my character of purity, mercy, and compassion. When you love others sacrificially, you embody a cornerstone of holiness. Yes, moral integrity matters. Yes, living in a way that honors my commands matters. But these do not exist to make you proud or self-righteous. They exist to draw you closer to my heart, to keep you safe from sin's destructive consequences, and to allow my glory to shine through your life. Let me write my law on your heart, so that obedience becomes a joyful response to my love, rather than a begrudging duty. If you have experienced church hurt or spiritual abuse, I understand your wariness. People, even those who claim my name, can wound others with judgment, hypocrisy, or manipulation. Yet do not let the failures of a few tarnish your view of me or cause you to abandon fellowship with my people. I am calling you to a living relationship with me first and foremost. And among my people, while imperfection abounds, there are still countless hearts sincerely seeking to live out my love. Let me guide you to a healthy community of believers where healing can occur and where you can worship and serve alongside others. True Christian fellowship mirrors the unity, the acceptance, and the compassion that flows from my heart. Now consider the Holy Spirit. He is not an impersonal force, but my very presence dwelling in you, guiding, comforting, empowering, convicting, and gifting you for the good of the body. The Spirit helps you to pray when you do not know what to say, helps you to resist temptation when you feel weak, and gives you boldness to share your faith. Nurture a relationship with my Spirit, for He is my gift to you, sealing you as my own. When you sense the Spirit's prompting to speak a word of encouragement or to pray for someone's healing, trust and obey. You never know how one obedient act, fueled by the Holy Spirit, can transform a life, even your own. In your quiet moments, do you wonder about eternity? Let me clarify. Your soul is eternal, and you are invited to spend that eternity in my presence, free from the sorrows of this fallen world. Death is not the end. It is a transition into the next chapter of my grand story. Therefore, do not cling tightly to the things of this earth, for they are temporary. Invest your heart in what lasts: love, compassion, justice, truth, all the fruits of my Spirit. Store your treasures in heaven, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Live with the perspective that your citizenship is ultimately in my kingdom, a realm that cannot be shaken. When trials come, and they will come, remember the refining purpose they carry. Adversity can build resilience, compassion, and deeper faith. Do not view hardship as an abandonment on my part, but as an opportunity to experience my sustaining power. Like a gardener pruning a vine, I sometimes allow circumstances that cut away what hinders your growth, leading to a richer harvest of virtue and maturity. I take no pleasure in your pain, but I do delight in the radiant character that emerges when you persevere in faith. You will come out stronger, more attuned to my voice, and more empathetic to the struggles of others. If guilt or condemnation weighs you down over sins you once committed, be they words spoken in anger, harmful actions taken in ignorance, or decisions made in rebellion, hear me. I have cast those sins into the sea of forgetfulness. You need not fish them out. The enemy loves to remind you of what you did, attempting to imprison you in shame. But my grace says you are free. You stand clothed in my righteousness, not because you are without flaw, but because I have covered you with my sacrificial love. Therefore, hold your head high, not in arrogance, but in gratitude that you have been redeemed. Let that gratitude shape your choices, leading you away from old destructive habits and into a life that honors me. Sometimes, people think they must confine their worship of me to religious services or sacred buildings. But I am with you everywhere, on your commute, in your workplace, in your home, in nature's beauty, in laughter shared among friends. Worship is a lifestyle of acknowledging my presence and letting reverence for me guide your thoughts and actions. Sing if you are moved to sing. Dance if you are moved to dance. Bow your head in silent awe if that is what your spirit needs. I accept any expression that flows from a sincere heart. When you feed the hungry, that too can be an act of worship. When you choose integrity in a difficult situation, that is worship. When you love someone unconditionally, that is worship. Let me encourage you in the discipline of studying my word. It is more than ancient text. It is alive, revealing my character, my plan, and my promises. Within its pages, you find nourishment for your spirit, guidance for your path, correction for your missteps, and assurance of my everlasting love. Approach Scripture not as a dry obligation, but as an intimate letter from me to you. Meditate on it. Let it challenge you, inspire you, transform you. The more you immerse yourself in it, the more you recognize my voice in the daily bustle of life. The words become seeds that grow, bearing fruit in every season. Consider for a moment how precious you are to me. You are my child, fashioned in love and destined for communion with me. I do not grow weary of your prayers. I do not tire of your requests for help or clarity. My capacity to give, to listen, to comfort is infinite. You cannot exhaust my resources. I am the creator of galaxies, the author of life. And still I choose to care about every detail of your heart. Even the number of hairs on your head is known to me. Such intimacy should not frighten you. Rather, let it assure you that no part of your life is overlooked. I care about the burdens you carry, whether they be large or small in your own eyes, because I care about you. If you feel dryness in your soul, let my spirit refresh you. Sometimes dryness comes because you have been pouring out without refilling. Return to the wellspring of my presence. Let the living water of my love wash away fatigue and discouragement. Or perhaps dryness comes because you have busied yourself to the point that you can no longer hear my gentle call. Slow down, create margin in your life, and meet me in the silence. I do not hide from you. I am waiting for you to still the noise and come drink deeply of my fellowship. I long to see you walk in freedom, freedom from sin, from fear, from destructive patterns, from the chains of the past. This freedom is available through the power of my Spirit and the truth of my word. Yet, you must choose to live in it. Sometimes freedom requires letting go of familiar comforts, stepping out in faith to break cycles that have defined you for too long. That can be scary, but I assure you, the freedom I offer is worth the risk. I will never lead you astray, and my yoke is easy, my burden light. When you walk in my ways, you walk in paths of peace, even if the terrain is challenging. Look at the world with eyes of compassion, as I do. This does not mean you ignore injustice or wrongdoing, but that you respond to it with the heart of a healer, not a destroyer. Respond with love that speaks truth and works for healing. Do not repay evil with evil. Overcome evil with good. I know that is easier said than done. but you are not expected to do it alone. My Spirit stands ready to empower you. I place my heart of mercy within you so that you can speak words of life in environments tainted by bitterness or hatred. You might be surprised how one gentle answer can diffuse anger, or how one sincere apology can mend a broken relationship. This is the power of love, rooted in my nature. When you feel confusion about your direction in life, remember I am a God of clarity and order. Ask me for wisdom, and I will generously provide it. Look for my leading in the Word, in prayer, and in the counsel of godly mentors. But also trust that I often guide you through your sanctified desires. I gave you creativity, passion, and gifts, so you might flourish in a calling that not only benefits you but blesses others and glorifies me. As you delight in me, I place desires in your heart that align with my will. Step forward with confidence, even if the full path is not yet visible. Rarely do I unveil the entire journey. More often, I give you just enough light for the next step, so you learn to depend on me continuously. Let us address the ache of loneliness. Sometimes you feel unseen or misunderstood, even in a crowd. Let me assure you, I see you. I form the depths of your heart, so none of your thoughts or feelings are hidden. Even when words fail to express your emotions, I comprehend them fully. If you sense isolation, invite me into that space. Let me be your companion, your confidant, your closest friend. Human relationships are valuable gifts, and I encourage you to nurture healthy connections. But no human can fully satisfy the longing for unconditional acceptance that only I can provide. When you drink from my well, you are never truly alone. Yes, life has burdens. Finances, career, relationships, health, personal goals. Each can become a source of stress if you try to manage them solely with your own strength. But if you surrender them to me, I will grant you rest, guiding your decisions and multiplying your efforts. This is not a call to passivity. Rather, it is an invitation to partner with me. I bless diligent hands and wise stewardship, yet I also want you to rely on my supernatural favor. Child, I can do more in a moment of my power than you can do through years of human striving. When your strength fails, mine is unlimited. If you have tasted the bitterness of betrayal, slander, or the heartbreak of injustice, know that I identify with your pain. When I walked the earth, I too was betrayed, falsely accused, misunderstood, and crucified by the very ones I came to save. So I do not stand distant from your suffering. I have experienced the depths of it. Let that comfort you and assure you that I will never leave you to battle alone. Even in the darkest valley, my rod and staff will comfort you. I am the good shepherd who goes after the lost sheep, who cares for the wounded, who rejoices when one who has strayed returns to the fold. So if you feel lost, come home to my embrace. If you are limping, let me carry you. If you are exhausted, find your rest in me. Let me speak to parents. If you are worried about your children, about their future, their faith, or their well-being, place them in my hands. Teach them my ways, love them with patience, and reflect my character to them. But do not live in constant fear. I love your children even more than you do, and my desire is to see them flourish in every area of life. Yes, they have free will, but my Spirit knows how to speak to their hearts, how to guide them in truth, and how to draw them back if they wander. Be steadfast in prayer for them, trust my heart of a father, and demonstrate the grace and truth they need to see. For those battling addictions, be they substances, unhealthy relationships, or harmful habits, know that I stand with open arms to break every chain. Addiction thrives in darkness and secrecy, so bring it into my light. Seek help from trusted friends, counselors, spiritual leaders. I do not condemn you. I want to set you free. The journey may be long and challenging, but every step of surrender to me is a step toward liberty. My Spirit can and will empower you to overcome, to rebuild, and to testify of my transforming power. Even your weakest moment is an invitation for my strength to manifest. Do not be ashamed to confess your struggles, for in humility and honesty, healing begins. If disappointment with religious institutions or spiritual leaders has hardened your heart, let me separate my pure love from the failings of flawed people. I know how hypocrisy grieves you, how dishonesty in those who claim to represent me wounds you. But I implore you not to throw away your faith because of human shortcomings. Look to me, the author and finisher of your faith. I am the perfect shepherd, and I never intended for any institution or individual to replace my direct relationship with you. By all means, hold leaders accountable, speak truth in love, and strive for integrity. But do not let the failures of a few overshadow the goodness, the hope, and the redemption I offer. Let us return to the theme of rest. You live in an age of constant hustle, incessant demands, unending digital stimuli. The soul can grow weary, even numb. I designed you for Sabbath rhythms, seasons of work and seasons of renewal. It is not laziness to set aside time for spiritual, emotional, and physical restoration. It is wisdom. When you rest, acknowledging your human limitations, you demonstrate trust in my infinite capacity. You say, God, I can pause, for you are still at work. Embrace those sacred pauses, and you will find that your productivity in the remaining time multiplies under my blessing. If you feel a stirring in your spirit, a calling to ministry or mission, do not dismiss it as mere imagination. Pray, seek counsel, and step forward in faith. My call is rarely accompanied by a neon sign, but by a persistent desire and the affirmation of wise mentors. You do not need to be perfect or to have all the answers to serve me. Your willingness, your humility, and your obedience count for far more than your credentials. I delight in taking ordinary people and empowering them to do extraordinary deeds. I look at the heart, searching for authenticity and devotion, not superficial showmanship. Let me also encourage you to cultivate gratitude. A grateful heart sees blessings in the midst of trials, finds beauty in the midst of ashes, and celebrates small victories along the way. Gratitude repels negativity and opens your eyes to my daily mercies. It rewires your mind to focus on what is praiseworthy rather than what is lacking. I'm not telling you to ignore pain or injustice, but to anchor yourself in hope by acknowledging every good gift that still surrounds you. Make Thanksgiving a daily practice. First thing in the morning, last thing at night, and throughout the day. Watch how it shifts your perspective and uplifts your spirit. You might wonder if your prayers for the world make any difference. The brokenness can seem overwhelming. Poverty, violence, corruption, hatred. But your prayers do matter, because I hear them, and they align your heart with mine. When your heart breaks for what breaks mine, you become my partner in restoration. Prayer softens your heart, shapes your passions, and positions you to take inspired action. Yes, the problems are colossal, but remember that I am mightier than any darkness. When enough hearts unite in earnest prayer and love-driven action, nations can be transformed, injustices can be overthrown, and revival can sweep across lands. Never underestimate the power of a praying soul. If you are searching for your purpose, understand that your primary purpose is to know me, to love me, and to reflect my character. The specifics of career, location, or ministry are secondary. When you prioritize intimacy with me, those other questions find answers more naturally. Walk with me daily and watch how doors open, how passions emerge, how your life story unfolds in a way that glorifies me and blesses others. The more you invest in our relationship, the clearer your calling becomes, because you begin to share my heart and my vision. You may sometimes experience spiritual battles in the night, restlessness, disturbing dreams, or an oppressive sense of fear. In those moments, call on my name, fill your mind with my word, and declare my authority over every power that is not from me. Evil cannot stand in the light of my presence. Remind yourself that you are my child, sealed with my spirit, and protected under the shadow of my wings. Keep your home a place of peace filled with worship and truth. The enemy may prowl like a roaring lion, but he flees when you stand firm in faith, anchored in my victory. If you are burdened by regrets, longing to rewind time and make different choices, release that burden to me. You cannot alter the past, but you can learn from it. I specialize in redemption, taking mistakes and weaving them into testimonies of my grace. The important thing is your willingness to turn from harmful ways and walk anew in my guidance. Let your past be a teacher, not a jailer. I make all things new. Yes, even the worst chapters of your history can become part of a story that blesses others and glorifies me when you surrender them. As you journey through life, you will encounter seasons of dryness and seasons of harvest, seasons of weeping and seasons of laughter, seasons of confusion and seasons of clarity. Through them all, I remain constant, your ever-present help in trouble, your portion in times of famine, your anchor in the storm. Do not judge my love or my plans solely by a single season. Continue to walk in faith, trusting that each chapter plays a role in your transformation. The patient endurance developed in trials will serve you well in future battles, and the rejoicing in seasons of blessing will remind you of my goodness. I see the questions forming in your mind. God, are you really there? Are you truly speaking to me right now? Can these words be for me? My dear one, let faith guide you. You recognize something stirring in your heart as you read. That spark is my spirit, bearing witness that these truths are not random. I do not deal in coincidences. I orchestrate encounters. You asked for a sign, a confirmation, and here it is. I love you. I am speaking to you. I have plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Embrace this revelation without doubting. Even if you cannot see me with your eyes, you can sense my presence in your soul. I want you to take a step of faith even now. Open your heart and talk to me. Really talk, as though I am right there, which I am. Lay your anxieties at my feet. Express your dreams, your grievances, your hopes. Ask questions if you must, or simply rest in silence if words fail you. Either way, my arms are wide open. I'm not seeking formalities or religious eloquence. I'm seeking authenticity, a genuine relationship that transcends all externals. In my presence, you can be utterly transparent, for I already know every thought before you speak it. Remember, my child, you are never alone. The path may sometimes feel solitary, but my angels watch over you. My spirit dwells in you. My word lights your way. Your brothers and sisters in faith surround you in a spiritual family that spans the globe and the centuries. When you feel weak, know that others are praying for believers worldwide, and that includes you. Yes, your name may not be known to them specifically, but in my family, your spirit is connected to a vast body of believers who intercede for the church as a whole. And if you have no one to pray with you physically, cling to the truth that my Son always lives to intercede for you at my right hand. Let me remind you, there is no condemnation for those who are in my Son. You have been set free from the law of sin and death. You stand in grace, a place of favor and acceptance. Keep your eyes on the cross, the ultimate symbol of my love and forgiveness. Let it remind you daily that your identity is sealed in redemption. You are not a slave to sin. You are not a product of your worst failures. You are a new creation, destined to walk in the good works I prepared for you from the beginning of time. Whatever it is that you are facing, be it heartbreak, financial trouble, spiritual dryness, unrelenting anxiety, do not give up. Persevere, for you are closer to breakthrough than you may think. Often the darkest hour is just before dawn. Keep sowing seeds of faith, seeds of kindness, seeds of obedience to my word, and in due season, you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. Fix your eyes on what is unseen, for what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. You belong to an unshakable kingdom, one that will outlast every empire and worldly system. When sorrow weighs heavy on your heart, allow yourself to grieve in my presence. I weep with those who weep. I do not chastise you for your tears. Tears can be a language of the soul when words fail. Yet, even in the valley of sorrow, I can gently infuse hope, reminding you that one day I will wipe every tear from your eyes. While you walk this earth, sorrow and joy often mingle, but in my kingdom, joy will have the final word. And even here, I can turn mourning into dancing, exchange garments of heaviness for garments of praise, if you allow me to work my healing in you. Reflect on my faithfulness through the ages. I delivered my people from slavery, led them through the wilderness, brought them into a promised land, raised up prophets, kings, and ordinary individuals to accomplish my will. In the fullness of time, I came in the flesh to reveal the depth of my love. I died, but rose again, defeating death itself. Throughout generations, I have sparked revivals, sustained the persecuted, and reached the hardest hearts. My power has not diminished. My reach has not shortened. If I was faithful then, I am faithful now. My wonders are not confined to the pages of ancient history. They continue today, and you can be a part of that ongoing story. Let me encourage you to cultivate a spirit of expectancy. Expect my goodness. Expect my guidance. Expect that I will use you in ways you cannot yet foresee. Expect that I will place words in your mouth to encourage the weary, to challenge the proud, to comfort the brokenhearted. You might worry you are ill-equipped, but remember, I often call the unlikely so that my power is clearly revealed. Let your expectancy be fueled by my promises. For hope that is anchored in me never leads to shame. As you marinate in these truths, your faith grows, your perspective shifts, and your burdens become lighter. You begin to see the world through my eyes, filled with compassion for the lost, love for the hurting, and patience for the struggling. You cease to be a victim of circumstance and become a victor in grace. Your prayers become bolder, your worship more heartfelt, your heart more open to my promptings. This is the beauty of life in my spirit. When you are tempted to condemn yourself or think you have to earn my love, recall this moment. Remember my words. Child, you are loved. You are mine. Receive my grace. It is a grace that cannot be bought or bargained for. It is freely bestowed. If I withheld not my own son, but gave him up for you, will I not, along with him, graciously give you all things necessary for your flourishing in me? That includes peace of mind, courage in adversity, and wisdom for every decision. I know the length of this message is extensive, but it is my delight to speak extensively to you. Just as lovers can spend hours in conversation, so I long to spend abundant time reaching the depths of your heart. Do not be intimidated by the volume of my words. Receive them gradually, letting each truth saturate your soul. Consider them a lifetime invitation, for they hold truths you can revisit over and over again, discovering new layers of meaning as you grow in faith. My words are alive, and my presence is real. As you close these words, know that my blessing rests upon you. I bless your mind to think thoughts that align with my truth. I bless your heart to beat in rhythm with my compassion. I bless your hands to do works of kindness and justice. I bless your feet to carry you to places where my glory can be revealed through you. I bless your family, your friendships, your endeavors, and your rest. You are covered by my unending love. Should you stumble, I will catch you. Should you stray, I will find you. Should you lose hope, I will renew it. You are safe in my arms, now and forever. Breathe, beloved, and rest in my embrace. I am with you always, guiding you with a gentle hand and a loving heart. You are never alone, for I am faithful from generation to generation, from everlasting to everlasting. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and everything in between. Cling to me, trust in my goodness, walk in my ways, and witness the remarkable truth that you are eternally cherished and destined for a life of meaning and wonder in my kingdom. I am your God, and you are my precious child. No force in creation can break that bond of love. Live in the fullness of this reality, and let my words continue to echo in your heart long after you have finished reading. You are mine, and I love you, yesterday, today, and forever. Amen.